We have Virgil, ladies and gentlemen. He is the host of, a co-host of Bad Faith podcast. That's a new podcast, and also on Chapo Trap House, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, Virgil, Texas. Virgil, there you are. I see you wearing you've got an Adidas sweatsuit on.
Yes, that's right. Sam.
Virgil, it's been a while.
Sam, it's so good to see you.
This is the least dressed up I think I've ever seen you.
This is dressed up. I mean, this is a look.
Well, you have no tie on.
I don't have a tie. I don't always have to wear a tie.
No, you don't always have to wear a tie. Just, usually we anticipate a little bit of, I don't know, a little dapperness from you. And I guess not.
This is dapper. This is a look. If you're in the chat right now, there's a chat room, correct?
This is chat. Well, I mean, of sorts.
Yeah, there's a chat. If you're in the chat,
they're loving it.
Say that I look dapper, or if you agree with Sam, say I'm an asshole.
Okay, all right. That's one way of.
Democracy.
Democracy. That's not the way I would vote. All right.
I'm so happy to see you after my ordeal.
What was the ordeal?
Well, you know how I've been offline for several months.
I had no idea. Do tell.
You follow me on Twitter.
I do.
You follow me. You didn't realize. You didn't know that.
I haven't. No, I've been.
You don't read them? You ever be muted or something?
Oh no, I don't have you muted. Of course. Why would you think that?
Well, yeah, I was gone. I was gone for several months.
And then you reemerged like a phoenix from the ashes on Bad Faith. What is that?
Well, I got out. Is what happened. I got out. You see, after the Bernie campaign ended, I came back to New York, right? And the pandemic hit, and went to quarantine, and I had all this time to myself, right? And I thought, all right, what am I going to do with my time? I guess I should, finish some of the projects that I started and I never got to, now I got all this free time. Why did I do one of my, pursue one of my passions that I put on hold? So I decided that I am going to find out who Lev Parnas is. I'm just going to do it. I'm just, let's do it.
You went deep into Lev Parnas. Now
I went deep into Lev Parnas. Yeah.
I don't know if you know this. I that's who I dressed up as for last Halloween.
I knew that was one of the clues I have.
Okay.
That was in my book.
You wrote a book about Lev Parnas.
Yeah, it's like a notebook, like a detective's notebook.
Right.
So here's what I did. I took the Excella down to DC, and it was very cheap because it's like mostly empty. It was very cheap because of all the people dying.
Right.
And I went down to DC and I went to the Library of Congress. Now, as you know, the Library of Congress is open 24/7. It's always open. It's like a Waffle House.
Right.
Even during a pandemic or a hurricane or something like that, that stays open. That has to stay open by law. I went down to the Library of Congress. I went down to the sub-basement D, the occult section.
Mm-hmm.
And, I went down a dark hallway. I'm carrying a candle in this. So you can picture me carrying a candle. It's not well lit there. That's like, because of budget cuts and like all the Republican crap.
Coincidentally, exactly how I always picture you, but go ahead.
No, okay. I go down a long hallway and I see at the end of a hallway, there's a very, very tall, like stack of books, and also this artifacts, skulls and things of that nature. At the end of this hallway, on the tippy top of this very, very high stack of books, like 10 feet, I don't know, I'm bad with heights, but something like that. I see a very large book with a not a Star of David, a pentagram. Yes, right. A pentagram on it. And I can just barely make out the spine. It says, it was something like summoning incantations. And I think this is perfect. I can summon someone who can explain to me who Lev Parnas is. Like a 40s whiz kid or something, like Alex Trebek, someone smart, someone who would know that.
Right.
so I start clambering up the shelf, because there's no ladders there at the stacks because budget cuts. The Trump budget that they passed,
right.
All the tax cuts for the rich. And when you know it, the thing falls over, and it just pins me down. And I start hollering, hey, come get me. But I'm wheezy because I have the disease that's killing everyone. And I was just there for months.
Oh my God.
I was there for months. Yeah, and then eventually someone else came down there and let me out. It was not Lev Parnas. That would be like a fun end to the story if it was Lev Parnas.
That would have been a great end to the story.
No, it was some lady who worked there. It was not interesting.
I gotta say, that sounds horrific. I'm sorry you went through that, Virgil. We're glad to have you back. Congratulations on that, and I'm happy to hear about Bad Faith. All right, but
Bad Faith. I should explain what Bad Faith is. So, Bad Faith is a new show. It's a new podcast that I started in recovery for my ordeal with friend of your show, Brianna Joy Gray, who's wonderful. She's phenomenal to work with, and she was Bernie Sanders' national press secretary.
Correct.
And now she's a podcaster with me. I've dragged her down with me.
Yes.
And we have a show. It's called Bad Faith. You can find it on most platforms. So look for Bad Faith, and you can find it on Patreon. And I do hope your audience takes a look at it. Go to patreon.com/badfaithpodcast. There's a free episode that's up. There's another one posting today, which whenever I get off the phone with Sam Seder, I'm going to post that. Okay. And if you subscribe to the show for $5 a month, you get weekly bonus episodes. And the episodes we've done have been good. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to them, but it's good.
To be honest with you,
that's okay. That's okay.
Recent. It's very recent.
It's very, very recent. It's just started, but we've gotten amazing feedback. People love the show, and they love our dynamic, our little interplay there, because Brianna's of many ways we have similar politics, but she is a very different person than I.
Yeah,
she's optimistic. She wants to get along with people. She's normal. She's hygienic. Smiles. She's well liked.
Yeah.
She's healthy. She's healthy. I don't know if I said healthy.
Two different.
We're very different.
Like the odd couple.
You're the odd couple. So it's the differences that make the dynamic very fun and also very educational. And I forgot the best part. It is a panel show. You know panel shows.
I know panel shows. Now, my understanding is this raises a good point. My understanding is your panel wow, thirsty. Your panel this week discussed some issues around sort of the election and the Electoral College and the ways that Trump might steal it. All right.